Everything's just a bit too chaotic. It's really difficult to get through it, isn't it? I can imagine what it must be like for you guys. You know, I sit in this stuff all day, every day. I build up a certain resilience against the absurdity of the modern world, but this is just getting too crazy. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I mean, you go to work, you come home, you turn on the Timcast, you listen to the show. Joe Biden has COVID and cancer. Or maybe he doesn't have cancer. And maybe he doesn't even have COVID. I haven't heard it from him. Has he confirmed it? Does it matter? When he said he had cancer, they said it wasn't true. So who do we trust? Some woman who is not the president claiming he does have COVID is a fact. But Joe Biden himself saying he has cancer is not. Sorry, dude. I have no idea what you're talking about. Maybe we are just being Yuri Bezmenov'd. Is that a verb yet? You guys know Yuri, right? He talked about the demoralization. Let me just say it one more time. A spokesperson claiming Biden has COVID is proof he has COVID, but Biden saying he has cancer is not proof he has cancer. The White House says he doesn't, and so his own words are meaningless. Yet, on other big major stories relating to foreign policy, Biden can assert something to be true, and they'll say Biden confirms. I'm sick of it, yo. I don't know if this man has COVID. I mean, Timcast.com is reporting he does because they said he did. But can we report that he has cancer because he says he did? Maybe he has both, maybe he has neither. I don't even know. Apparently nothing is true. Everything is true. Whatever you want to be true is true. And then they call you fake news if you report on Joe Biden saying he has cancer. Did you guys see that the other day? Joe Biden came out and literally said he had cancer. He didn't say he had. He says he has cancer. So I got to clarify. Yesterday he said, I have cancer. Not verbatim. He said, I and so damn many other people have cancer. Have. And they're like, nope, nope. Okay. Whatever, man. It's so tough. I'm so tired. I'm sitting here and I'm just like, how do I even? Well, I'll tell you what you can do. As demoralizing as all this may be, become a member at timcast.com. Come over here, click that join us button, support our work if you believe in this. I just got to say, it is hard some days. And people say, Tim, how do you sit through all this and read all this stuff? And I'm like, yeah, it ain't easy sometimes. Running a company, we're looking at like 33 to more employees. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And I'm like, it's not easy at all. I saw a great meme and they said, everybody wants to play your position till they see what it takes to hold that position. And that's true. And that's just, look, the business stuff of things is hard, but look at this. Look at this story. President Biden tests positive for COVID. Says who? From NDTV, President says, Joe Biden says, I have cancer. Stuns Twitter. White House clarifies. Spare me. President Joe Biden has tested positive for COVID-19, the White House announced on Thursday. Biden, 79, is vaccinated and double boosted. So he's got 3 shots. He's 79 and he got COVID. According to the statement from White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, the president tested positive on Thursday morning and is experiencing very mild symptoms. She said that he will be isolating at the White House and will continue to carry out all of his duties fully during that time. He has been in contact with members of the White House staff by phone this morning and will participate in his planned meetings at the White House this morning via phone and Zoom from the residence, the statement said. Okay, how about this one? How about Joe Biden actually has cancer because he's the one who said he has cancer and I don't trust other people telling me about his health. And they're saying this because he's getting cancer treatment so he can't be at work. No, it's not cancer. It's COVID. Biden came out and said he had cancer. The next day, they're like, he's going to have to be isolated. Why do I believe some random spokesperson? Is that the game we're supposed to play? Oh, no. Oh, it makes more sense that he just has COVID and not cancer, even though he said it. I'm just so sick of it. Who do you trust? The president who said it or random spokespeople who said other things? I guess pick. The media will tell you you're fake news if you take the word of the president, right? Say it to my face. media, I will say right now, Joe Biden confirms he has cancer. Tell me I'm wrong when I say the president confirms. Because if you want to argue that Joe Biden has no right to assert facts, then I will say thank you for that. And the next time he says anything, I will say the man is a liar and demented and even once falsely claimed he had cancer. So pick one. The dude's brain is broken and thinks he has cancer, or he does have cancer. You see the game? You see the game? I'll go with this. The president of the United States made a statement. It's done. This woman, I don't know. What gives her the right to assert something about the health of the president as opposed to the president himself? So here's what I think. He got cancer. He can't work. He's getting chemo. Who knows what? They tell you it's COVID. Someone's lying, right? So again, who's lying? Is the spokesperson lying about him having COVID? Well, she's not Biden, right? Or is Biden lying about having cancer? Oh, no, he misspoke. He meant to say he had cancer. He didn't tell me this. Joe Biden didn't tell me this. Joe Biden didn't come out and say, sorry, I misspoke. Joe Biden did not come out and say it to me. Some random person did. I don't know you. I'm sick of this stupid game. They say Biden is being treated using the antiviral Paxlovid and will be returning to in-person work as soon as he tests negative. Consistent with White House protocol for positive COVID cases, which goes above and beyond CDC guidance, he will continue to work in isolation until he tests negative. Once he tests negative, he will return to in-person work. It's very convenient. The president who announces he has cancer is being isolated. Why should I believe anything else? Period. Why? The White House said that they'll be providing daily updates on his status as he continues to carry out the full duties. Per standard protocol, for any positive case, the White House medical unit will inform all close contacts of the president during that day today, including any member of Congress and any members of the press who interacted with the president during yesterday's travel. The president's last previous test for COVID was Tuesday when he had a negative test result. The president took the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine in December 2020 and January 21. He was boosted with Pfizer shots in September of 2021 and March 2022. Wait, what? He's got 4 shots? Oh, that's right. That's right. Because the initial dose was 2 doses, right? 1 month. Vice President Kamala Harris tested positive on April 26, but reported being asymptomatic. Already on Twitter, President Harris is trending. President Harris. Well, I guess it'd be better than this, but I don't know. They're all lying. Someone's lying. Tell me who is lying. Does Joe Biden have cancer or does he not have cancer? Who's the liar? Is Joe Biden a liar? Fine. Joe Biden's a liar. How about that? Joe Biden is a liar. He done got cancer. What's that? You're saying he accidentally announced to the world he has cancer? Well, then he's a moron with a broken brain. Just say it already. NDTV reports. A video of President Joe Biden appearing to claim in a speech that he has cancer created alarm on social media on Wednesday. Mr. Biden was speaking during a visit to a former coal mine plant in Somerset, Massachusetts, to discuss new executive orders to fight climate change. Though the remark appeared casual, no, he seemed angry about it, indignant. Let me see if I can play this video.
My mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up with have cancer. That's what he said. It's just so stupid. Mr. Biden was discussing the harm caused by emissions from oil refineries when he made a reference to his childhood home in Delaware and said, my mother drove us, blah, blah, you saw it. Okay, hey, NewsGuard. You watch these videos, right? You're going to give us an assessment? Tell me what's true. Is it true when the president says it, or is it true when a random person who is not the president says it? If I come out and tell you that I have cancer, is that confirmed? Or what if some employee at my company comes out and says, no, he doesn't? Which one's true? It's a stupid game. Well, you know what, man? The media is full of it. It's media lies all the way down. This country is being gutted and ripped apart. That's the easiest way to explain it. The president comes out and says he has cancer. The next day they say he's in isolation for COVID. Why should I believe them? How about he's in isolation because he's getting cancer treatment? Does that not make sense? I don't know what to expect. I can tell you this. Under his leadership, we're looking at diesel shortages. We're looking at food shortages. We're looking at a collapse. I know, it's kind of a hard segue going from Joe Biden is sick and has COVID or cancer to the collapse of this country, but I think it is interrelated. It's not like a one-for-one segue, but it is. It is somewhat a segue. National Black Farmers President issues dire warning to Biden admin. We're heading for a food shortage. To the Biden administration, who doesn't know if the man has cancer or not. We can expect him to save us from this. John Boyd Jr. says it's going to get bad. Now, I will point out to our NewsGuard friends, Fox News is no longer certified as correct. They're now fake news. I'm going to be probably phasing them out for sure. But this is an actual interview with an individual, so I'm willing to use it for the time being. Quote, you have the high cost of fuel, the high cost of fertilizer and lime, and all of these upfront costs for America's farmers. And we haven't done anything in place to fix that, he said, adding that he's still waiting to hear back from the White House on a meeting that was promised. Boyd predicted that if key leaders refuse to intervene, Americans could soon see evidence of a commodity shortage at their local grocery stores and as empty shelves become increasingly common. It's funny, it happened during COVID. It's happening again already. They're screaming about record heat in Europe, fires. It seems like their bigger concern is climate change. And then here they go coming out talking about the chaos that is supply chain crunch. Fuel prices are through the roof. The Biden administration has told us that they're going to get off fossil fuels. And I'm just like, dude, all right. You trust an administration that can't determine whether or not the president is sick. And you've got problems. Well, I guess either way you cut it, Biden is sick with something. Quote, we're going to lose more and more farmers by not acting, he said. We're heading for a food shortage in this country where you have different regions of the world, such as Ukraine, that won't be producing enough commodities such as corn, wheat, and soybeans. All of these things are going to affect us here at home, and we're going to see empty food shelves in the coming months. Host Todd Pirro noted that the cost of fertilizer has increased by 200% or nearly tripled over the past year. A devastating increase that has forced Boyd to pay $1,100 per ton this year compared to last year's rate of $400 per ton. Boyd said he's also struggling to pay $6 per gallon for diesel. Now, this is amazing because I was worried that food costs were going to go up 40%. That's more than 40%. Way more. I should say the cost of fertilizer has increased by way more than 40%. Now, how much can the farmer absorb? I think they're going to crank up costs to cover it. They need a 40% increase in the cost of fertilizer. That cost will directly translate right to the food, not to mention the $6 per gallon for diesel, meaning the food costs are likely going to go up way more than that. We're looking at a triple the cost for fertilizer. The administration hasn't put things in place to help us. The administration isn't talking enough about the plight of what's going on with Americans. We're losing farmers every year that we don't take action, and that's going to help. But it's going to hurt us here at home. High cost of food, that's going to affect every American that walks into the supermarket. We have to find a way to invest in infrastructure for farmers and put farmers first and put more small-scale farmers back into business. I think they're gutting the system on purpose. That's it. Boyd also criticized Biden for prioritizing foreign aid over the needs of American farmers. You think the war with Russia and Ukraine is going to end anytime soon? Probably go on for years, right? And if it does, the food shortage will get worse and worse. And what's crazy is, we've talked about the fall harvest. We haven't talked about next spring. It's going to be substantially worse. This year, we are going to face a very serious shortage. Next year, it's going to be exacerbated, substantially worse. We're going to see mass starvation in Africa and South America and the Middle East. I don't know how high this food flood, the figurative flood, will get. But only the strong will survive. Now, I've been talking about buying emergency food for some time. The left laughed at the idea and they mocked me for shouting out emergency food. If you would have bought the emergency food 1 year ago, you'd have saved like 40% or like 30%. And it's only getting more expensive. So I don't know. Look, I'm not doing a promo for any emergency food right now, but I'm just saying if you were to buy it now, you're going to save money because the food inflation is a real thing. It's up like 12% or whatever. Take a look at this from CNBC. The food security crisis could kill more people than COVID has, says Senegal minister at G20. From just the other day. Senegalese minister of economy Amadou Hott has urged the global food industry not to boycott the trade of Russian and Ukrainian food products as the food crisis rages on in vulnerable countries. Hott said at the a group of 20 meeting of financial leaders in Bali last week that without immediate resolution, the crisis, which involves both a food shortage and high prices, would kill more people than during COVID times. But climate change, too, has contributed to the problem over time, not just the war and the pandemic. Keep saying it. Okay. This is what happens when, look, you know, I was originally thinking of, I was actually putting together this food security shortage thing when the news came in that Biden has COVID. And I was like, what is it, man? Is it COVID or is it cancer? COVID or cancer? They don't know. We don't know. We're supposed to just decide based on what the media tells us what to believe. Sorry, I'm not playing that game. Give me proof. There's no proof he has either. I can take his word for it and say he has cancer. And the system just crumbles down all around us. This is what happens. Now, I understand it's a world thing. But do you think Joe Biden is going to save the American people? Do you think he's going to be an effective leader during this massive and major crisis? Or do you think he can't figure out if he's got cancer or not? We got to pay the penalty for it, I suppose. Newsweek says, does Joe Biden have cancer? President's history with melanoma explained. Always just rushing out to defend this man and translate for his fractured brain. Ian made a funny point yesterday on Timcast IRL. Good point. We opened the show and I was very serious. I said the president has announced that he has cancer. But I don't know if he actually has cancer or not. Ian pointed out, how crazy is that? The man literally said he has cancer. Why are you doubting him? Because he's demented. Because the president of the United States is discernibly, verifiably demented. And the world knows it. When he says he has cancer, and the media runs out and says, no. Did Joe Biden? Glenn Kessler, who's the editor of Washington Post, fact checker, responded saying, how dumb is this tweet? Check out Biden's medical report before he became president. He had non-melanoma skin cancers removed. Has no one at RNC Research ever had this common procedure? You see how the media rushes out to translate for and defend and placate? What is this? Are these Democrats? These people work for the government? So imagine, like, if I came out and said, I have illness that I've had before, you'd be like, nah, he doesn't. Like, imagine if I came out and said I had COVID, and they'd be like, Tim doesn't have COVID. He had COVID a year ago. No, I came out and like, you can get it twice. They're like, he had cancer before. You can get cancer again. Mohs surgery, which the president underwent multiple times, is an effective way of treating the two most common types of skin cancer. Blah, 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 blah. I'm tired of all of it. It's rough. It's rough when you wake up to a fractured and psychotic news cycle that, what do you do? The other day we learned that the Colbert staffers who insurrected won't be charged. And I'm like, what am I going to say again? I'm going to make another video saying this is double standard? At a certain point, it's just boring to talk about any of this. I guess in a 24-hour news cycle with a need to have a conversation, they recycle everything. And that maybe is the real story. They can't allow you to speak negatively about Biden. So when he says he has cancer, he doesn't really have cancer. But then when someone else says he has COVID, he does have COVID. And we're supposed to act like we're not allowed to discern what is or isn't true or who we trust. Do you trust Karine Jean-Pierre more than the president? Unless Joe Biden comes out and says he has it, why should I believe he's got COVID? The nature of reality at the time. The nature of the Yuri Bezmenov'ing of this country. The demoralization. The idea is that you put out misinformation, disinformation. You make everyone so confused and demoralized they just don't want to be involved anymore. And that's the difficulty of all of this. Waking up every day to read the same stories. And, periodically I come out and I say this because it's true. I'll look at the news and just see that it's all the rehashed same old news. And I just make a video where I'm like, am I going to keep saying this over and over again every single day? I had a guest tell me that I have to. They said, if you don't, then eventually it normalizes. You need to call out the double standards. You need to call out the hypocrisy and the lies, or one day people just stop calling it out. And it's kind of like life is walking on a treadmill. If it's like being on a treadmill. If you walk, you stay still. If you stop walking, you move backwards. You have to sprint to advance. And that's true because we're all competing against each other. Certainly what I do here is a sprint. We've reduced the amount of content we've produced as of 2 years ago. I used to do 6 segments per day, 4 hours of recording. And now it's just chilling out, producing a bit less. Now it's about 3 hours of recording with Timcast IRL included. Chilling out, trying to pull back a little bit because it's endless. The media manipulations, the lies. And I'm sure many of you get tired of it too. Like, how many videos can you watch of the same thing? So you tell me, does Biden have cancer? And I'll also point out too, for those that were wondering what happened, my YouTube censored my 10 a.m. segment. Some people couldn't hear it and some people could. I don't see how that's an accident. Some people would see no audio, some people it wouldn't play, and some people got the full video with no problem. So tell me how that's an accident. Sure, I guess something happened where certain IPs were blocked. I have no idea. It makes sense, though, considering what I was talking about, that it would be censored. That's what they're doing. And then I just say, you know what, man? Why would they censor and why would they hinder and why would they make it difficult to do the work? Because I'm calling out Joe Biden and the Democrats, and the midterms are coming up. So they don't want to prop up my content. They got to hinder it. And I bet they'll come out and say, oh, it was all just a simple error. We're so sorry about that. Yeah, right. So sorry about that error. Keep lying. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. over at youtube.com/Timcast. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.